Hey, what's up, everybody? Wanted to do an update video on my 2019 Raptor. It's been almost exactly 2 weeks to the date since I've gotten it. I am at 925, so 75 more miles until fully broken in per the driver or the owner's manual. They said the first 1,000 miles, don't do any heavy load, make sure to adjust your speeds, don't redline it, don't tow, things like that, which are, pretty standard for most vehicles, and especially so on performance vehicles for sure. So I'm about to hit that. It's been awesome. I haven't redlined it at all. Once I hit around 750 miles, I tried sport mode and the paddle shifters, and that was fun. I think I got up. The turbos were full spool, probably around 5,000. This redline's at 6,000, so pretty close to redlining, but not full redlining by any means. And it's Saturday today in Texas. It's 103 degrees, which is ridiculous. But tomorrow, which I'm gonna make a video of as well if I actually do end up going, which I'm sure I will, there is a place in DFW called Texplex, which is absolutely ridiculous. It's pretty much an adult playground for off-road vehicles, and tomorrow is a pre-runner day, pre-runner truck day, which only allowed pre-runner trucks and stock plus Raptors. So it should be fun. I was sort of hesitant on doing it. Again, barely 1,000 miles on this car, but from my understanding, I can go at my own pace, so I don't need to go full bore and launch this thing like crazy. But if I want to, I can. So that's fine. So I plan on doing that. Like I said, it's been 2 weeks since I've owned it. It's been absolutely phenomenal. A few things that I want you guys to be aware of. If you guys do have one, think about getting one, whether it's a 19, a 17, anything like that. From the factory, these cars come with the KO2s, and my understanding is they come from the factory either at 45 PSI or 50. The PSI rating on the tires themselves say 50. At the dealership when I was driving the video that I did before this, there was a few bumps, and the bed felt like it was going a little crazy, which was normal. I thought it was normal. I've never driven a Raptor before or owned one before, so I didn't know any better. I checked the PSI, and all of them were 50. The door hinge says it's best to run them at 38 PSI. So I have since reduced them to 38. It definitely drives a lot better. There's some people on the forums that run 36 34s or 36 32s, 36 in the front, 32 in the rear. I haven't tried that yet, but from factory 50 PSI to the 38 PSI, way different. Much smoother, much less bouncy. Just sort of a PSA for you guys that either have one, that have experienced it, and you just haven't checked the PSI, or you're gonna get one from a dealership. A lot of times, and what I've read too, they just keep it at 50 PSI, so they don't check the PSI before they sell it, which, it's not a big deal. That's one facet. Another one, last weekend, I was around 600-700 miles, and I wanted to find some back roads in Texas. And I'm not from here. I'm from California originally. I've been here about 3 years now. Everyone said east of McKinney, which is about 40 minutes north of me, there's some dirt roads. So I was like, screw it. Let's go find some dirt roads. So I go out there for, I don't know, maybe an hour driving around. I can't find anything. Hour and a half goes by, and I get to a point where I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna head back. I'm just driving around and drive around. And sure enough, I find a little road with a mud pit, if you will. I'm like, you know what? I shouldn't do it. Let's just head back. But I decided, F it. I came out here to do this, I'm gonna do it. So 2 things of off-roading from I've learned and read nonstop, or videos that I've watched. 1, don't go without a winch. I don't have a winch. 2, don't go without a buddy. I wasn't with a buddy. So I go out, and there's about 15 feet of dirt, like solid dirt, and then it goes to a mud pit for about 15-20 yards, and then it's just dirt. So when I'm getting off the road, and I go pretty slow, and right before I hit the mud pit, I was like, all right, I gotta maintain my speed so I don't get stuck. So I start driving through. I'm at the end of it, and I noticed there's a huge ditch right at the end that I didn't see earlier. So I let off the gas, and I panicked because I let off the gas, and I was like, shit, I'm not supposed to let off the gas. So I try to gas it a little bit more. Stuck. I got stuck in the middle of nowhere, Texas, for about 2 hours. I'm gonna show a video right here of what the aftermath looked like on a truck on my Raptor that has 700 miles on it. What that freaking looked like. Absolutely ridiculous. So the truck just ticked over 600 miles. And I got pretty aggressive in some off-roading. So aggressive that I actually got stuck. Look at that wall, it's blue. Holy shit. Yeah, 600 miles and I already got stuck. Learned my lesson. Never off-road on your own or without a winch, and I did both. Oh man, look at the damage on the inside. Look at that. Yep, the steering wheel is pretty much brown. I had to get out in the water to try to get it out. So, time to do some cleaning. Shit. Yeah, so as you can see, it was Texas clay. I get out of the truck. I didn't have my GoPro, unfortunately. I get out to try to get it unstuck, and I go knee deep. I mean, I get out, I step in the mud, and it goes past my knees, is how deep it was. Long story short, I had to walk maybe a mile and a half to this farmhouse, knock on the door, and thankfully there were some nice Texas folks there. He got on his tractor and he got me out. So lesson learned, if everybody on the forums, on videos and everything say don't go without a winch, don't go without a buddy, make sure you don't go without a winch or without a buddy. Do one of the two. So lesson learned early on. But outside of that, it's been awesome. This is such a nice truck. I don't know if the video can pick it up, but I got my dog with me right here in the passenger seat. They love it, especially from the RS and sort of being crammed and trying to keep the car as clean as possible, which I'm keeping this car clean as well. It's a truck, right? It's gonna get dirty. It's just the reality of it. So having him in the back, it's great. Actually, I'm gonna do a road trip with the wife to Nashville this week for 4th of July. So that's about a 9-hour drive. My gut says probably 600-700 miles. That should be fun. And before I do that road trip early next week, I'm gonna do the oil change. But that's pretty much it. Everything's been good. I'm at 345 right now, so about to hit 1,000 miles. And the first thing I'm gonna do is put this sucker into sport and see how fast it kicks. I do plan on doing some aftermarket things. I'll show you guys here in a second. The Line-X that I did the wheel wells and I did the bed. Highly recommended as well. It looks amazing. I was a little hesitant on the wheel wells. A few shops in DFW didn't even want to touch it. The few shops that did want to touch it wanted to charge like $500 for doing it. Thankfully, I found another Line-X shop that do it on the regular basis, and they charge $75 each. So it was a no-brainer at that point, and they did a great job. quick walk around. I changed this antenna immediately. I think I did it. It's still tight. It's off Amazon. It was like 20 bucks. It was hitting every single pillar in my parking garage at work. Here's the Line-X wheel well. As you can see, pretty good. Nothing on the suspension whatsoever. Then here is Line-X on the bed. It's great. Looks phenomenal. They took all these screws out, as you can see. Took everything out. Took these out as well. Yeah, they did a great job. And then the wheel well here. Again, great job. Yeah, all in all of that was about $700. And then here's my, just finished washing both of them. I got a track Miata, 95 Miata, and this is my wife's Scat Pack charger. Look at that offset, baby. Yeah, let me know if anybody wants to see videos on either the Scat Pack charger my wife has or on the 95 Miata. It's nothing special, it's bone stock, but I do have a Cobb access port still for my Focus RS. I just found out that I can ship that back to Cobb and get it reprovisioned, so it will clear, get it fully reprovisioned for the Raptor. And they have a OTS tune for 93 octane, which looks like it's doing about 50 to 75 more horsepower from factory, which is awesome. I'm not going to do that just yet. I did that in the RS at like 3,000 miles. I'm going to wait a little bit longer in this truck because I didn't get this truck for performance, right? Like, yes, it has performance, and I haven't redlined it yet, so I very well could be satisfied with the power that it has, but I will probably add that access port at some point down the road, so keep a lookout for that. I appreciate everybody watching, making comments. Let me know if there's anything in specific that you want me to talk about or talk through. I'm more than happy to make that video. You know, I would like to make a video once a week. We'll see if that happens. If I go to that off-road place tomorrow, I will 100% make a video on that. I'm gonna bring the GoPro. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I appreciate everybody watching. If you're thinking about getting a Raptor, I highly recommend it. And I haven't even done what it's most capable of, right? I've just been driving it like a daily driver the past 2 weeks, so I'm really excited to see what it's capable of off-road. But that's it, guys. I appreciate it.